I was stacking lumber outside the barn when I heard her screech, "I'm calling 911. You're stealing land." I looked up, and there she was. Karen Eastwood, standing in front of my gate, like she owned it. Her little rat dog yapping from her overpriced purse, her golf cart blocking the drive. Gold HOA president stickers, shining like she was royalty or something. She was already on the phone, pacing like a movie villain. "There's a man trespassing." She sobbed real tears. "And all he's cutting down trees, threatening the neighborhood." The best part. That call went straight to my Uncle Rick, Dalton Harlan County's longest-serving sheriff, and my mom's big brother. Yeah, that happened. But let me back up a sec. My name's Travis Cole. I'm a civil engineer. 36, and after years in the city, Atlanta, then Dallas, I burned out. My grandfather passed and left me his ranch, and suddenly the idea of peace and dirt roads sounded better than traffic and spreadsheets. So I moved out here to the edge of Maple Hollow, unpacked my truck, and started fixing up the old place. Now most of the neighbors were great. Nolan lent me his tiller. Miss Edith brought over a peach cobbler, but not Karen. From the first week she marched over like she was running for office. "This barn," she said, pointing with her sunglasses, "ruins the aesthetic of our community." I smiled. "Well, lucky for me, this isn't HOA land." She fake laughed like she didn't hear me, then handed me a brochure about neighborhood visual standards. That was the start of it. After that, I got weekly notes taped to my gate, complaints about my dog barking, weeds growing too high, even my chicken coop being structurally non-compliant. I tossed them all in the burn barrel. Then one morning, I hired a crew to reopen an old trail that ran through my land down to the creek part of our original deed since 1959. Karen must have seen us from her upstairs window, because 10 minutes later, she stormed down with a clipboard snapping photos like she was building a criminal case. "You can't dig here," she shouted. "This is HOA green space." "Nope," I said, calmly brushing dust off my jeans. "It's my land, and I've got the papers to prove it." She left furious tires spinning in the gravel, and I figured that was the end. It wasn't. 2 days later, I was unloading beams when I saw her pull up again, this time yelling into her phone about a dangerous trespasser. And right as I rolled my eyes, I heard it. Sirens. Karen grinned like she'd just won the lottery. "That'll teach him," she whispered to her purse dog. But the cruiser that pulled in, that wasn't just any cop. That was Uncle Rick. He stepped out, sunglasses low on his nose belt, creaking with every step, and looked straight at her. "Ma'am," he said, all slow and calm. "Like a thundercloud, you the one who called in the report." Karen puffed up. "Yes, Sheriff. That man she pointed at me like I was an escaped convict is illegally building on HOA property." Rick didn't even answer her. He walked right past, clapped me on the back, and said, "Morning, Trav. Got yourself a visitor, huh?" I smirked. "Seems like it." He turned back to her. "Do you have any documentation that says this land falls under HOA control?" She blinked. "I have warnings, citations." Rick flipped through her papers, unimpressed. "These are internal HOA memos. They don't mean squat out here. This ranch has been in the Cole family since before your development even existed. I know I helped build that barn when I was 16. Karen's face turned beet red. "This is a mistake. You're related to him." Rick didn't even flinch. "And I'm also the sheriff. You call in another false report, and you'll be the one in handcuffs." She sped off in her golf cart, throwing gravel like confetti. I thought that was it. I was wrong. The next morning, I found my gate padlocked shut. A big red sign slapped on it. Seized by HOA, under review. 3 guys in safety vests stood nearby, one taking photos, another hammering in a stake, like they were claiming territory. "You've got 5 seconds to explain what you're doing," I snapped. "We're here on orders from Willow Ridge HOA," one of them said, smug as anything. I took pictures of all 3, called Rick again, and within 20 minutes, he was there with backup. The padlock came off. The sign came down. But that's when I realized this wasn't about HOA drama anymore. This was war. I drove to the county office and sat down with Marlene, the planning clerk. When I told her what was happening, she rolled her eyes. Karen Eastwood again. She pulled up a file on her computer and turned the screen toward me. A proposed $5 million resort and golf lodge filed by Eastwood Land Development, with a planned access road running straight through my ranch. My land was the one thing standing between Karen and her golden ticket. That night, I installed motion cameras, reinforced the gate, and told Rick everything. "She's trying to force me out," I said. "This is about money." He nodded. "And now we've got motive." The next night, I caught movement on one of the cameras. A man in a hoodie holding a gas can sneaking around my barn. We didn't wait. Rick and I grabbed our gear and stormed out there. Toby barking like mad behind us, and found him mid-pour gasoline sloshing onto hay. Rick shouted, "Drop it!" The guy froze. "She said it'd just scare him," he blurted. "Said I'd get paid if I made him leave." He confessed right there Karen paid him to burn the barn. She was arrested the next morning. Charges stacked up like firewood, conspiracy, harassment, attempted arson. Her mug shot. Front page of the county paper. Her development plan. Dead in the water. HOA suspended and under full audit. But here's what really mattered. Neighbors started talking. Started sharing stories. Fines for bird feeders. Threats for holiday lights. Turns out Karen had been bullying this town for years. So we formed the Willow Creek Landowners Alliance, independent non-HOA built on protecting each other. Rick helped write the bylaws. Marlene joined as zoning advisor. And me, I went back to work fencing fields, painting the barn, and watching sunsets with Toby on the porch. It's funny how all this started. With a woman calling 911, never guessing the sheriff would be family. But let me ask you, if that had been your land, your family's legacy, would you have fought back? Or packed up and left? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Ever had an HOA nightmare of your own? Tell us, we might feature your story next. And hey, if you believe in standing your ground, hit like, share this story, and subscribe. We've got more drama coming.